Hello again, everyone. Yesterday, a little package arrived for me, and in it was some Distress Oxide sprays. I have never used these before. I wanted to order some re-inkers for my Distress Oxide, a few of my pads. And I saw these on the same website and I thought, well, I'll just try them. I haven't got many because, to be honest, they're not cheap. I don't think they're cheap. Well, I don't think any crafting thing is cheap, to be honest. But I just got 4 colours. What have I got? Frayed burlap, scattered straw, pumice stone and speckled egg. These 2 are some of my all-time favourites. So today I'm going to have a little play with these 2 colours. I don't know what I'm doing. I've never had a great deal of success with sprays. The nozzles nearly always get clogged up with me and then they get sit in a box and don't get used. As I say, I've never tried Distress Oxide sprays before. I've tried mica sprays and that kind of thing. I don't know if it's the lumps of the tiny little pieces of grains of mica that clog the nozzles, but we'll see. We will see. So what I thought I'd do today is use this product, which I haven't used greatly. It's Distress Glaze. It says apply over artwork with finger, buff away excess with a dry paper towel. But I thought I would do it kind of backwards this time. And I thought I'd put some Distress Glaze on first and then try with my sprays afterwards. This square is actually the bit that came out when I made, whoops-a-daisy, let me get it, the magnets. This frame the other day, I used this frame for a card. So this piece is the bit that came out the middle. So I'm using this piece today. This leaf mask is by Lavinia. So what I want to do is to try and put on some distress glaze first onto here and then use the spray oxides afterwards to see what the kind of effect is. I've got some regular ink there, Distress Oxide ink. I don't know whether I'll be using that or not, but let's just have a see. And rather than use my finger, I thought I'd use one of these foam applicator gizmos. Just fits in here, a treat. Got some on there I can see. So what I'm going to do is just rub this around here. I've just taped this piece of card. Well, I haven't taped the card down. I've taped the stencil to the mat. Let's put a bit more on. I don't know. I just don't know what the effect of this is going to be, but it's going to be interesting, isn't it? Really. People say, "What if? What if? Can you do this and can you do that?" Well, often we don't know unless we have a go. So I'm having a go. So let's see. I can't really tell if there's any on there or not really. There must be, mustn't there really? I just had a couple of goes at it. So let's just cover that up. Take this off. Oh, I can see some there. There's not much here, but we won't worry. I'll just do it as is. Now, I've got my spray box. Let me start with the speckled egg. I just love this colour. I liked it from the moment that I first saw the colour. Just loved it. So let's have a go. Don't know how much I'm supposed to use. And now the pumice stone. Love this. You see, here it looks kind of beigey. When you look at it in the pad, it looks grey. But when you use it, it's kind of the beige. I love it. Absolutely love this shade as well. So let's try. Okay. Looks interesting, doesn't it? Let me just dry this off with my... Actually, I quite like the look of the paper around here. Let me just dry this off with my heat tool. Well, I did that for quite a long time, actually. But it's kind of interesting, isn't it? Let me just see if there's any of the glaze left on there. It's kind of nice, isn't it? My idea being, I've done a happy birthday, and I was thinking kind of, this is the Alexandra Renke dies that came the other day. Happy. I was thinking of having it kind of like that with one of these. These are, I've doubled up, they're 2 layers each, with kind of something like that, perhaps. Isn't this lovely? Don't you think that's really nice? Let me join these together while I'm thinking about what I'm going to do with that. Not sure if I do like it really, but with that on the top, but we'll see. This is a brand new Nuvo marker, not a marker, glue pen. And if there's a lot of it on, it's easy to align pieces. If there's not much, it grabs the new piece of whatever you're sticking to it, and you can't slide it around to maneuver it into position. But when you've got plenty on, it's kind of easier. Oh, let's just see if this is aligned properly. It just becomes a bit more vital if you let stack these die cuts. Right, let's have a little look at this. I'll just wipe this. And a lady asked me, she said, I see you colour with alcohol markers, but your mats are all clean. Have you got a host of mats that you don't need to clean them? But I do clean them. I just use a little squirt of isopropyl alcohol and wipe them with a paper towel. Okay, let's have a look at this. I'm thinking my normal square card. Don't know about mount yet. But isn't that an interesting effect? I really, as I say, I don't really know what I'm doing. I quite like this. I don't know where to put this thing. I feel it's got to go in the direction of the leaf, perhaps like that. I think that will do. Let me stick those down onto there. I'll use this same, see if I can use this same glue. Make sure plenty's coming out. Trying to look at both ends to see if I'm, centralised. I don't think it's the best glue for this particular purpose, but we'll see. Does it go? I think it might do. We'll see if it hangs on. We'll try the other one, making sure I'm not putting this down in the glue I've already put on the mat by accident. Well, not by accident. There we go. Hope you can see. I tend to sometimes go out of the camera's vision. There. I'll press it down with a block. I don't know if it is the most successful glue to use for this purpose, but we'll see. Okay. Happy birthday. And that can go on there like that so that the line sort of follows through. I think I'm going to use my white glue for this, my Beardy Art. I think we'll use that for the leaves. Okay. Now, I'd like to make a little bit of a big deal of the mount for this. I don't want it just kind of like this. I'd like to take the eye to it. I'm just wondering, I have got this, and I was thinking that I would perhaps just darken the edges just slightly with it. Let's just... subtle. It's subtle. I can see a little bit of glue there. I'll just give that a dab with the white glue. Dries shiny, so I'll just give it a dab to take it away. Okay, now then, I will find some kind of mount for this. It may be just a larger square of card, but let me just have a look. Well, I've had a look through my boxes of various dies, and I came up with a few. These two are Charlie and Paulchen, I think, German, with the jaggedy edge. This is just a larger one of those, which I cut that with. That one, I don't know where it's from, and it doesn't actually cut. This one is just an embossing, whatever. So, I don't know where that came from. This piece of card, I went to my offcut drawer, and this one is actually a different cardstock. So I'm not keen on sort of putting this on here and then onto there, because I don't like two different whites. So I could try colouring this with the Distress Oxide just to give it a deeper edge. What I was thinking in my mind when I got out this one was thinking that I would use a blending brush and bring that in a little bit. But I'd forgotten, and I'd already put this on, so I couldn't do that. I would mess up the sentiment. So I can see some ink there, some glue there as well, shiny. Just get rid of that. There we go. So that is why I decided just to kind of put a little wipe around the edge. So I will try just doing this to see what that looks like. But otherwise, I think it's going to be this very slightly larger one, which leaves just a hint of the wiggly edge around the outside. And then I could put that on foam tape up from there and that lot onto the card front. I quite like this option, but we will see, and I will try inking this and see what happens. So I'll get myself something to just lift it off the desk with, and I'll just go along the edges like this. And the last side. Use a different side of the pad. Okay, let's see if that's done the business. It has, but I'm not keen. I'm not keen on that. I think this slightly, you know, distressed edge looks rather better. So let's put some glue on this and we'll join these pieces together. You can see the distressed glaze is sort of greasy into the card stock, which is probably a good reason that it's going to have a mount behind, so it doesn't actually sort of bleed through onto the card base itself. Okay, let's put this onto here. It's funny, I like to work with it the right way up, isn't it funny? See if we can get this absolutely centralised. Do you know, I can still see some glue there. I'm not going to be using that again. I will have to try and use some of this because I can see all this. Don't know what to do about it really. I don't care for it. I wonder if a Q-tip and a bit of water, but that would activate the ink underneath, wouldn't it? Just wondering if I've got a spray glaze that would sort of take the eye away from it a bit. Oh, I don't know what to do. Make a mental note for next time not to try that glue unless I can get it absolutely down in the right place first go and not leave any trails. I haven't used any water with this Distress Oxide, so I wonder if just a spray might do something. Let me just try. I'm going to waft this over the happy and the birthday. Let's just see how we go. I'll move these out of the way. Okay. Okay. We'll see how that dries. I don't think it's going to do any harm. I would use my heat tool. It's a little better, but it's still not wonderful. Never mind. Lesson learned. If I'd used microdots, that would have been ideal, wouldn't it? Microdots would have not left any marks. There we go. I think a few pearls might be called for. I might grab some of those in a moment. There we are. Right, let's find some tiny pearls. I think we're kind of there. It was interesting, I have to say. I love the effect of the distress glaze. I think that worked really well. And the mix of two colours is interesting. I suppose the effect would differ with the amount of ink you've actually used. So quite a fun first experiment. I think I'll have to come back and try some more. So thank you for liking, subscribing, and do come back and see me next time.